All right, guys, number 3 account view. Today we have Mr. Tur. I'm calling him Tur because he's in my Discord, or Details in Game. And his message to me is, "Hello, Mr. Cheeseman. As you already know, I'm pretty new to the game as of this account at the end of Atelier Ryza event, which was around November 24th of 2022. And have pretty much played this game religiously on a daily basis since then. The first year, man, everyone just goes absolutely bonkers on it. At least some people do. Like, I've heard so many stories of people telling me they play like every single day or whatever for the first year. I mean, that's to be expected, but like for a honeymoon phase for most games, like that's like a month or two. But for a year though, kind of crazy. Anyways, though, alongside you and many of your Discord members, I've grown to enjoy the game more than I imagined possible. Yeah, it's to be expected, guys. Join my Discord. Do it. After having tried the game in 2019, veteran right here. Having grasped how the game functions in the meantime, I've invested a lot of time into trying to min-max as much as possible by observing both you and a few other content creators, but still having to rely on outside sources in order to efficiently do the meager end game activities this game has to offer, mainly Operation Siren and Meowfficer. Yup, pretty much, because usually games don't have like a little difficulty on like how to understand how content works. Like usually, let's talk about like a boss fight, right? Let's talk about like a Persona or a Final Fantasy boss fight. You just do it. Like there's no thinking to it. You just do it, right? You got to do it or you don't. That's all there is to it. But in this game, like, oh, I'm not doing enough damage because I don't have the right. Well, no, Persona actually does too, because like I use like specific element typing and stuff. But like this game, like team compositions to do this, that, and this, having to use specific weapon typing and stuff like that, builds, ships. It's different. It's not like you can use whatever you want to get things done most of the time, especially with the recent Chapter 15. You gotta be very, very tight with what you use in this game. So I can definitely agree to that. The only thing I do now is nuke my oil and farm OS, as it's the only somewhat farmable piece of content in the game with no restrictions. That is true. As a true end game, if you are good on cog ships, what you should do is just toss all your oil into OS. I should do that because I want more gold plates, but I hate OS, man. I really don't want to just keep doing it. But that's what I should be doing, though. I'm just too lazy for that. Few things not shown in the video, so we'll talk about that after the video is done. Let's go ahead and go into the video recordings. So, statistic wise, we have a good data of information right here. 34 ships owned, 46k attacks. I think that's okay these days. I remember back then it was like you want to have, I think, double, or like you want to have like 50% more of your ships owned compared to attacks. So this right here is like about that, kind of like a little bit off on the attacks, but because nowadays they don't really incentivize you doing like efficient farming or like doing low map farms anymore, like 7-2 or 2-1. The tax here should be relatively closer to ships compared to it was before. So this is correct. Any statistics though? 134 for a year is actually really good, by the way. Collection, oops, right clicked, 58%. But that's what you expect for a 1-year player these days. A lot of borders missing. Hope they come back though. It's just the limited like anniversary ones that are gonna, those suck. They need to update this. I've said this many times. Meadows has to be updated. Like it's not mandatory content, but it gives players something to do. Like this is really nice, but they don't update this anymore. All right. So ship wise, I think you have pretty much all this good stuff ringed already. So I don't think I have to go about it too much, but I will mention a couple things that you should be working on that are below 100, because when a ship is below level 100, you probably forgot about them until like much later on. So here are a couple suggestions, assuming you didn't ask them in the that what you would call it. But I'll look at that later though. As of right now, end game, you pretty much want to focus on perma-stats. I think you're almost at that point, if not already at that point when you focus on perma-stats. You have to start at 120 ships. And when you want 20 ships, you have to get cog ships. So you want to farm chapter 12 and stuff. So that's like the big thing right now, where you farm permastats. Ship wise, there's nothing mandatory here. A couple of these things are just permastats. So I'm not gonna mention permastats right now. I think you're already aware of that. I just mentioned some ships that are nice to have at 120, if not 125. So there's some cheese EX you can do if you're into EX stuff. I don't think you are though, but Kirov and Cleveland are very good ships to have at 120 because, or 125 even. No, actually no, 120 is fine. For EX stuff, or level 1 even if you're really good at EX, but most people aren't. And again, you don't have to really care about EX, so just a suggestion. The other ships here, I think you can skip on most of these right here. Oh no, Kimo Trash Talk SX, it is what it is, man. Submarine stuff, I think 101 is still used. I'm not exactly sure, but I think she's still using Subfleet. I'm not sure if you have another one though, but Subfleet, something can work on as of right now. Any of the other ones, I think you're good on OS stuff, so I'm not gonna like suggest on like Richelieu and stuff like that. But I think you have like pretty much all the neat stuff at 120, if not higher by now. Nagato is nice to have for some scenarios, but when Musashi in the game now, it's kind of like, yeah. Voros nice in chapter 15 if you want to use chapter, if you want to do chapter 15 stuff. I think that's it. Oh, Ryuho as well too. Forgot about her. I forgot about Ryuho. Oh well, I think I put her in chapter 15 guide, but just slipped my mind in this like a 10 seconds just now. So yeah. Now when we get to the inventory here, Yorktown too. I'm not sure if she's actually your favorite though. I think it might not known, but you can definitely set your Valentine to like whatever you want. I'm not sure if Yorktown 2 is your favorite though. It would not. I would not expect it to be Yorktown 2 by all means. Gold plates. I think we're okay right now. The anti-air got burned right there. Someone's trying to do chapter 15 right now. Aircraft plates definitely need a lot of those. You need main guns and aircraft plates the most. So keep those like relatively balanced because you're gonna need a lot of those. Anti-air being like nuked is hilarious though. Cubes, you're good. This was recorded as of last night, so you have lots and lots of cubes left over for the collab as well as the UR events. Purple plates, ooh, we have a lot of those. There's always a general place that people are lacking in, or like it's lower than the others. So as long as this is high, the other plates should be fine. 5th anniversary thing. Did I get this? I gotta check my account. I think I got this as well too. I don't even know what I even used it on. Maybe. Uh-oh, I gotta double check. There's so much junk in my inventory now. I don't even know if I even have this. I looked at it, I was like, whoa, there's a new item right here. Didn't even expect that. All right, 2 457s, very nice. 4 wyverns, that is good. Bare minimum as of right now. You want to get into chapter 15 though, you want to have 6 of these, I recommend. 2 10 rights, that is good. Now all you can do is work on either Hindenburg guns or Drake guns or even light cruiser guns for Plymouth as well too. At this point, I say since heavy cruisers right now aren't like super game changing, they're just nice to have. I think I would say Hindenburg guns. Like get the Drake gun from the shop whenever you can, the core shop, and then you get to get like another Hindenburg gun, and then just focus everything on like Plymouth guns as of right now. So 1 Drake gun from core shop or the prototype shop, 1 Hindenburg gun from research, and then the rest just go into Plymouth guns like I am doing as of right now. You should be okay. Unless they had Drake guns to be made in Gear Labs later on. I'm not exactly sure if they're gonna do that, but that'd be nice. A lot of Havar planes at plus 13. That's crazy. Oh my lord, that's a lot at plus 13. I hope you're good on like other planes as well too. AP rockets we have. A lot of washing machines. Good. These are nice to have at plus 13, by the way, if you want to have stuff to plus 13, because you pretty much use these everywhere. Dido AAs. I want plus 13. These you're better off plus 13, like either Stag Bofors or the Rainbow AAs, to be honest, because they give OS damage, and OS damage as of right now is only important for like Arbiter fights, and Arbiter fights are higher level than you. So if they're higher level than you, then you have bad accuracy. You want accuracy. So Stag Bofors are better than Dido AAs when it comes to Arbiter fights if you're using battleships. But for the most part, that's just min-maxing. It doesn't really care. I don't really care too much, but just remember that these don't benefit you at plus 13 compared to plus 10 outside of OS. All right. So you need more of these, bitters, 6 of them. So work on that whenever you can. Slowly work on them. Don't like pressure yourself to work on them, but just slowly work on them. Let me do this right now. A lot of reuse states, which are nice. Junkers, 2 junkers. I say get more junkers, honestly. I get 4. AP rockets, 2 at plus 13, 1 at plus 12. Very nice. You should be okay there. Plus 3 plus 13 white shell as well too, so you're good as well there. Apparently these are really, really good. If you don't want plus 13 rainbow quints or whatever, plus 13 quads are a fraction of what it costs to make the URs at plus 13. They're very, very good as well too, so definitely something to consider. Tashkent guns, 3 of those, not 10 of those, 3 of those. Not Tashkent guns. What are these again? These are the Gear Lab ones. These are Tashkent guns. 2 of these. Okay. All right, we should be okay. That's a lot of cannons right there. Oh my lord. I didn't even bother farming that stuff. That's a lot though. A lot of repair toolkits. How many homing beacons you got? I think you should be okay on homing beacons as well too. 1, 2. I will get 1 more though. Homing beacons are nice to have. Like any content where you want to spam airstrikes, homing beacons are very, very nice. So I highly recommend getting like a couple more of those, like 2 or 3 more of those. Then when we get to the print stuff, I think you have pretty much all the gear you needed to go already. AP rockets, junkers, all that stuff. Scions could be nice too for some scenarios, but for the most part, though, you can just skip on these. I think for min-maxing, you kind of want to use them, but I wouldn't worry about it as of right now. You can skip on those for the time being. I think you should be good on gear, though. As of right now, you should just make more bitters for submarine stuff. Everything else should be fine. Yeah, Plymouth gun being worked on as of right now. Get that on Plymouth. Have her do 1 billion damage. And then the rest is just for firepower for battleships at that point. Now that's the most efficient use of dorm I've ever seen. Literally nothing in the background, so it fast loads. I've seen some people do that, by the way. They keep their dorm empty, so just fast loads. I don't do that though, but I should if I want to be like min max. But I'd rather have my girls in like nice dorms, so it's fine. So I think that might be your OS, not OS, like maybe your campaign farming fleet. I'm not exactly sure. Chapter 15 maybe. Cats though, let's see. That might be your best cat. Oh god, that cat is horrible. Absolutely horrendous. This cat right here, again, these lines are nice for battleships, but Takimaru is not a battleship cat. She's a light cruiser cat. You want to get a battleship cat with battleship lines. That makes more sense. This Bishimaru is not terrible, but it's more focused towards like IJN carriers, such as Shinano and Hakuryu. So keep that in mind. This battleship cat is not bad. Definitely not bad. A lot of damaging lines. We have some reloads in here as well. Soulful Warrior as well. There's actually solid battleship cat right here. This right here. Oh no, that's a terrible one. That's only 2 lines right here. Definitely get more lines for a submarine cat when we can. Getting a steel cat to have good lines is very, very easy though compared to other cats. This one's a bad cat. That's a bad cat as well too. Now this one right here. All right, it has. What's the other line? It has okay lines. It's just this isn't high level, and accuracy. 1 accuracy is like a dead line right there. But this needs to be higher level. I think that's a new line roll though. So yeah. Mass tenacity. It is nice in chapter 15, but just skip on it now. This one is okay. I think that's an okay one. No, that's evasion battleship, right? That's a terrible one. Not bad. This one right here, I think it's like a Vanguard or something cat. I heard it was all right, but again, Drake and the other cat that you have, or the kid, these have to be worked on ASAP. These 2 cats, Drake and Kid, max those out. They're very, very important. They're very, very good as well, too. Most of you, even I'm using one right now. I'm using Drake right now. They're very, very good. Use them. 4 damage lines, very relevant, very good cats. Very, very good cats. All right, fleet tech stuff. I think they're working on it right now, so that takes us playing the game for a while, get more ships unlocked. Once you have those maxed out, that's a lot of perma stats coming in for you. That's going to be big, big stats. Big, big stats. So right now, though, like battleship, you're missing like a lot of firepower. So perma stats right now can be worked on. Like you're missing like 50 firepower right now when it comes to battleships. That's a lot, by the way. A lot. So just work on those. Carriers, you're missing like, I don't know, 640, 40 aviation. You're missing a lot there as well too. So keep those worked on. Reload needs to be worked on as well too for carriers. Permastat stuff is just end game. You'll eventually get there. Yeah, PR stuff. PR1, you got the important ones done, so we'll skip on the other two. PR2, the important ones are done as well too. Well, Georgia gives firepower if you want to max her out 120, so can't really neglect Georgia there if you want the permastats. You gotta get that done eventually. PR3, you don't really need Drake these days. She's good in challenge mode, and that's pretty much it. The others, though, Cheshire is probably like the best one here, honestly, out of the bunch. So you got her done, so that's good. You're working on Champagne right now, all right. PR4, definitely the one that everyone needs to be maxed out. This one's already maxed out, though, so that's very, very nice. Marco Polo gets skipped for a time being, but I think she gives permastats, so you kind of want to get her event done eventually. Plymouth, she's a big, big candidate. You definitely want to get her at Developer 30. She's a must-have ship to have at Developer 30. Very, very powerful of a ship. Probably, again, I gave her like the highest rating. Definitely, probably the best ship in all of PR, honestly. Such a disgusting ship by far. And then last one, Kearsarge is almost maxed out. Shimanto is maxed out. Very nice. Hindenburg is almost maxed out as well, too. So once you're done with this season, just go back to maxing out Plymouth, and then you should be fine. Honestly, Plymouth is too important right now. Like, way, way too important to not have it maxed right now. Like, getting Plymouth maxed is going to be a game changer for a lot of people's fleets. So definitely do that. Now, when it comes to the monthly shop stuff, there's a couple of things in here. You can grab these slow eventually, but core data, though, is very, very scarce. You want to get your gear done first before the ships. Unless you care about collection more, then just focus more on gear first. Those are very important. The rainbow torpedoes aren't necessarily as important. Get more homing beacons. Homing beacons are way more important. These things right here, way more important. Get at least 4 or 5, and you should be okay. Metal shop. A lot of people are tight on metal shops. I get these like passively though, but there's a couple nice things that grab me here, like dorm food and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to this right here, I highly advise once heavy cruiser gets a more solidified meta, the Drake gun is definitely a good pickup here. Definitely is a good pickup. But for a time being though, you can skip on it I think they may add a Plymouth gun probably next year early. So honestly, I say the Plymouth gun is more important than a Drake gun. But if like heavy cruisers get like a big like meta or something, update or whatever, I don't know, maybe like a boss fight or something, then Drake guns are definitely gonna be very, very good pickup here. Now, when it comes to the guild stuff, I don't know what your guild doing as of right now, but guild roster should be like the first thing to be expanded, assuming you can keep up the members. After that, dog space is nice, oil cap is nice, coin cap is nice. I did cat discount first after guild roster. Get the discount cats. Definitely worth it for me. Save so much money there. Campaign stuff, we're all done here. Just got 3-star these maps. I think you can get gems from them. So whenever you want to 3-star these, you get gems, I think. So that's nice to do. Chapter 15 is actually being worked on right now. 15.3 is a ball buster, man. So I can't blame you for struggling there. It is very, very disgusting, I gotta say. It's very tricky of a map. But you'll get there eventually, though. Getting this far already at the end of the year is actually really, really good. OS being farmed as of right now, we're capped out on the stats. 500,000 of those things, just constantly just farming OS. Honestly, you already done OS already. I'm like not even halfway done. I'm too lazy to do OS these days. I should though, but I'll finish it towards the end of the month. I'm too lazy as of right now. But OS is a really good end game farm though. Like you're either farming permastats or you're farming for gold plates in OS. So that's all there is to it. Now I want to see the fleets. So can we see the OS fleets? Is he gonna show me the fleets? Alright, I want to see the fleets, my man. Okay, I guess not. I think he's gonna OS fleets though. But collection stuff, that's important to have. You want this. This is too important. You want that ASAP. Max that out. Get this as well too. Pure Pearl Series also. These auxiliaries are too important. Get those. They're very, very good. You want those ASAP. Skins though, I don't know if you bought any skins. I think maybe I didn't see any rings. I didn't see any rings, so I'm assuming you didn't buy any skins. But I don't know. You do have some skins. I lied. You do have some skins. Okay, I lied. You just didn't bring any ships, but I understand. Skins are more important. I respect that. I'm being dumb here. My bad. My bad. My bad. All right, so that is the account. Now for the questions. A few things that I showed in the video. Options between 100 and 120 are capped at 3 million EXP, so they're gonna hit 125 with the proper cog chips and raise invested. Ooh, that's pre-prep right there. That's actually very, very nice. 14 is cleared currently at 13.3 or 15.3. Zeroed out on the oil because of the current event. Also waiting for the Shima rerun, which is going on as of right now. Very, very nice. Hard mode 13 is fully cleared. Very, very nice as well too. OS fully cleared, both Arbiter and normal and hard Arbiter. Very, very nice. Now questions. What skills, if any, should I focus on maxing out? Both skills and skill level, skill-wise, possibly future content. I think you have pretty much everything maxed out. There's just some extra stuff that's nice to have, like more healers like Ryuho. If you do EX stuff like Kirov and Cleveland are nice to have as well too. But for most part though, I think you have pretty much all the ships mandatory at getting 120 already. Like nothing is like very important that you don't have covered already. Everything is pretty much good to go in terms of what's considered meta. Maybe 125 serious. Like okay, let's talk about 125 candidates instead, because I think that's gonna be more important. 125 serious is actually a very, very solid choice right here. Now, if you want some healers, Claudia is an okay 125 choice for chapter 15. Always UR, like if it's a UR, definitely 125 them. No, you can't go wrong with it by all means. I think that's like a common sense thing, but it is true. Everything else though, I think you have pretty much done at 125 already. Like if there's an important shit to have at 125, I think I'll mention it. But for the most part, I think you have everything done. Like what's your Helena at right now? Helena's 125, you should be okay. Helena's 125, yeah, you're good, bro. You are good. What gear should I make otherwise obtain through other means, if any, to get plus 10 or plus 13? Probably more junkers, I'd say. Again, like, but I focus primarily on bossing stuff these days. So if your carriers are fine, which they are, then you should be okay. I like junkers more, but I think you have like 4 reuses and 2 junkers, so it's not like the worst. Those junkers are more accurate. Washing machines at plus 13 are also fine as well too. Homing beacons, grab those. Battleship setup, I think you should be okay on those. You have 2 plus 13 champagne guns right here. You have 2 457s. Honestly, I think you should be all right for battleships department as well. Like you have your shells at plus 13. How many fire control radars do we have as of right now? Let's check. I don't even know where they're at. They're like somewhere right here, I think. Have any fire control radars? You have 2. Okay. I think that's fine. I don't know if you have the Musashi one or the Vanguard one. Oh, you don't. Maybe get one more at plus 13, but I would hold off on that for the time being. Double shells are fine for the time. But there are some scenarios where you want to have fire control radars instead of black shells. Everything else, though, you're fine. The Sigorkan, Wing Beacons, Washing Machines plus 13, just like the bossing stuff. Like when you think about a bossing fleet, you work toward, like, think about a generic bossing fleet. You work from damage dealers, which are your backlines, to vanguards. So plus 13 was most important there, and then work your way. 3. Any tips on min-maxing current available content, both for myself and anyone watching for the video? Permastats right now, I say for you, you're in a scenario where you want to work on permastats. I feel that OS is definitely mandatory for farming like gold plates, and that's important to do. But I think in your scenario, permastats are more important because you did say yourself that you have a lot of ships at level 100 already that are like capped at 3 million EXP, but you don't have the cog ships. Farm 12-1. Farm 12-1, because that's what I do. Get a lot of cog ships, and eventually get slowly awaken. Awaken ships to get to 120 and get extra stats on top of your boss fleets. That's very, very important as of right now. I don't think you should worry about OS farming, like using your oil to pay for more AP until you're absolutely near the end of the game. because like what I should be doing right now is farming like OS, like what you're doing. Because I'm basically done all my ships. Like I have like I don't know like 30 or 40 ships left over for stats that I care about, and that's pretty much it. So I say do that. That's more important. 12-1 permastat farm. Just toss random ships in that gives good permastats. Level them up to 120. Get the cog chips needed, and be on your way. 12-1 is the easiest map to farm for cog chips. Lowest oil cost, gives good EXP. Definitely is a good map. What cash out we're be on the lookout for, since I currently only have some of these in cash for my BB fleets. The Drake and Kid Cat comes a long way. These two cats right here. I will work on these two for the time being. After that, just slowly get boxes. Again, I have a list of video of talents that are good for cats. Just grab a good 2 or 3 baseline cat, and then just get 2 more lines if possible, and just stick with it. 3 is all right. It's a minimum. 4 is good. 4 good talents are good, and 5 is absolutely best in slot, but it's very rare to get 5, so I won't count on it. 3 or 4 good damage lines is all you need. Like that's all you need. But Drake and Kid though have 4 good damage lines, so that's why those cats are better for most people. And the 5th question, which ship should I be on the lookout to oath to make my fleet feature experience more enjoyable, as 6% stats can be a decent increase in damage by certain ships. Always backline, always backline. Backline always has priority when it comes to oath ships, specifically carriers. And I say carriers because 6% stats are important, but think of it this way. Battleships only want the firepower most of the time, right? Carriers, they want the aviation and the reload. So carriers have the biggest priority when it comes to ringing a ship, because there's two stats they really want: aviation and reload. When you have carriers have more reload and, well, damage is more nice, but more reload, you're able to play with more plane setups more efficiently. Like a slow plane becomes a faster plane. So if you're already going super fast, that means you can trade off that slow plane for an even slower plane that does more damage and still meet interval timings for like Helena procs and stuff like that. So reload is a very important stat for carriers. And having carriers ringed means you're able to flex more options for planes, since they added that option in fleet tech where you can adjust reload to your liking. So if you're going too fast, just turn off more permanent reload. If you want a lot of reload, then turn reload to max and ring your ships. All right. So carriers have the biggest priority here, and obviously good good carrier options are like Shinano, Haku Ryu, Yorktown 2 can work, Enterprise can work, Implacable. Like there's a lot of like good solid options for carriers these days. Like, UR is basically a given. But I think baseline though, Shinano and Haku Ryu can work in pretty much any scenario, so I give those two like the highest priority by far. That's it for questions, I think. So enjoyable review. Had fun. Thank you, Tur, as always, for the count submission and the fun times. And boosting my Discord as well too, so I appreciate that. So thank you guys for watching as always. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.